Sandringham, January 1981. A cold English afternoon where the sky hangs low and gray, pressing down on the land like a heavy thought no one wants to finish. A young woman steps out of a car and pulls her coat tighter around her body. Her name is Diana Spencer. She is 19 years old, too young to understand what she's about to lose, too polite to ask the questions that might have saved her. She doesn't look like a future princess, not yet. She looks nervous, slightly awkward. Her shoulders curve inward as if she's trying to make herself smaller. Her eyes scan the massive estate in front of her, unsure where to rest. The palace doesn't feel welcoming. It feels vast, impersonal, silent in a way that listens back. No one tells her that silence here is dangerous. She smiles anyway, because that's what she's been taught to do. Diana grew up believing in fairy tales, not the childish kind with dragons and spells, but the quiet English version, the kind where good manners matter, where doing the right thing is always rewarded, where love is patient and people mean what they say. She was born into privilege, yes, but not power. The Spencer family had history, not control. They were close enough to royalty to see the crown, but far enough to misunderstand it. As a child, Diana learned how to curtsy before she learned how to protect herself. She learned how to be agreeable, how to be pleasant, how to be invisible when necessary. Her parents' marriage collapsed, slowly and painfully. Arguments whispered behind closed doors, cold silences that lasted weeks. The kind of environment where a child learns early that keeping peace matters more than telling the truth. That lesson stayed with her. Prince Charles noticed her because she didn't try to impress him. She was different from the women around him, quieter, less demanding, less complicated. At least that's how it looked from the outside. Charles was 32, the heir to the throne, raised to rule, not to love. Their worlds were not just different. They were built for opposite purposes. Diana was taught to feel. Charles was taught to endure. When they spoke, Diana listened. When she laughed, it was soft and unthreatening. To Charles, that felt like relief. To the palace, she looked perfect, young, unformed, malleable. No one asked whether she was ready. The engagement announcement comes quickly, too quickly. Reporters shout questions, cameras flash. The world leans forward in anticipation of another royal fairy tale. Someone asks Diana if she's in love. She hesitates, just for a second, then smiles. Yes, she says. Later, when asked what love meant, Charles famously adds, whatever in love means. People laugh. Diana doesn't. She doesn't understand yet, but something inside her tightens. That moment will replay in her mind for years. Inside the palace, the rules are never explained directly. You're expected to know them. When to speak, when to stay silent, how to stand, how to walk, and how to disappear. Diana tries. She tries harder than anyone notices. She studies protocol, memorizes schedules, learns which fork to use, which words to avoid, which emotions to hide. But there's one thing no one prepares her for: loneliness. The palace is full of people, yet somehow empty. Corridors stretch endlessly, rooms echo, conversations end abruptly when she enters. She starts eating less. Then, not at all. Bulimia begins quietly, secretly. Control becomes comfort. At night, Diana lies awake staring at the ceiling. She hears footsteps outside her door, whispers that stop when she moves. She wonders if she's imagining things. She wonders if this is normal. She wonders if the problem is her. No one tells her that this environment breaks people. No one tells her that survival here requires armor. Charles is distant, not cruel, not kind, absent. His world is duty, tradition, expectation. When Diana reaches for emotional closeness, she finds formality instead. When she seeks reassurance, she's met with restraint. He doesn't know how to give what she's asking for. He never learned. The wedding approaches. The world prepares for celebration. Diana prepares for something else. Her weight drops dangerously low. Her hands shake when she's alone. Her stomach knots constantly. She tells herself it will get better after the wedding. Everyone says it will. They're all wrong. July 29, 1981, St. Paul's Cathedral. 750 million people watching. The dress weighs more than she does. As Diana steps forward, cameras capture a smile that history will remember. But inside her head, one thought keeps repeating. I don't belong here. She almost turns around. Almost. When she reaches the altar, she notices something that changes everything. Charles' cufflinks. They aren't new. They belong to someone else. Someone whose name she doesn't say out loud. Camilla. The truth clicks into place in that moment. Not loudly, not dramatically, quietly. And quiet realizations are the hardest to escape. The vows are spoken. The applause erupts. The world cheers. Diana becomes Princess of Wales. But inside, something fractures. That night, alone in a palace room far too large for one person, Diana removes her crown and places it on a table. It looks heavier now. She sits on the edge of the bed and stares at it. This is what everyone wanted. This is what she was chosen for. So why does it feel like she's just been locked inside something she doesn't understand? Because the truth is simple, and no one told her. She wasn't marrying a man. She was marrying an institution, and institutions do not love you back. That night, Diana cries quietly, not because she regrets the wedding, not yet, but because for the first time, she understands something she was never meant to understand so early. Being chosen doesn't mean being protected. Sometimes it means being consumed. In the months that follow, the cracks widen. Publicly, she shines. Privately, she disappears. The world sees a princess. The palace sees a problem. And Diana begins to realize that silence is no longer survivable. But she doesn't know yet what kind of woman she will become. She doesn't know that her pain will turn into something powerful. She doesn't know that the shy girl who walked into the palace will one day make the crown uncomfortable. That comes later. Much later. Next episode, Princess Diana on her wedding day. One look at Charles changed everything.